just taken place in the last few minutes here is delegates at a workshop, at the same workshop, in fact, have voted 279 to and 143 against a motion. So they have voted in favor of a motion that would strike from the party policy the definition of marriage as being between one man and one woman. So effectively ending the party's position opposing same-sex marriage. It was a very heated debate. You saw it here, and we've got some reaction to what happened in the room with two MPs on opposite sides of this story. Let's listen to what they had to say.
Michelle Rempel and Brad Trost, you both spoke to this issue on both different sides of the issue. The resolution's going forward, which means that at the plenary there will be a vote to carry this forward, and that would be to accept same-sex marriage as part of official policy. What do you make of it?
Our party, the Conservative Party of Canada, has always been the party of rights and equality for all Canadians. That's what attracted me to this party, and today I've never been more proud of our party. I just have to give the credit to all the activists who have worked so hard on this proposal, and it's a very good day.
Brad Trost, you rose and you spoke to that, and you said that you've been threatened, that people had said to you, you're going to vote this way or else you're going to lose your next nomination.
Well, that won't happen because I am pretty popular in my own riding and supportive. Look, we can disagree. From my perspective, very different than what Michelle's is. I respect her and so forth. But the traditional family is the bedrock of society. You cannot have a functioning free enterprise society without it. So those are the arguments for it. From a political perspective, I view this as just becoming liberal light. And what's the point of having another liberal party? So politically, I think this is a bad move. And policy-wise, I don't support it either. Look, we need to have the nuclear family, otherwise you have the social welfare state replacing it. Free enterprise and the traditional family go together.
Michelle, can we ask you, I mean, you sound this seems to be quite emotional for you. I mean, what do you make of when there were arguments made that this is bad politics, that the Conservative Party is going to lose a part of its base by changing this policy?
There's a time for politics and there's a place for politics. And discussing the fundamental rights of human beings is not a place for politics. I think that this debate in this country was settled over 10 years ago, and I'm very proud that my party stood up today and said that when you think about this, if this resolution passes the plenary tomorrow, Canada will be a country where all of our major political parties, including our right-wing political party, supports marriage for all Canadians. And I think that that's something that's really outstanding. I think that that's something that all Canadians can be proud of. And I think I'll look back on this moment in my political career, in my life, as something that was really transformative and really awesome. So again, to all the volunteers and to everyone who's worked so hard on this, I want to thank them. And I really hope that coming out of this convention, we can inspire Canadians and show them that, yes, we are the party that supports equality for all Canadians.
On the cold, hard politics of it, though, I mean, you have people saying that you're going to lose a chunk of your constituency. There was a fellow from Newfoundland there who said that we will now perpetually lose to Liberals and New Democrats because a lot of our core will go the other way.
Could you just... Our party brought good government to this country for over 10 years. I think that we left a very positive impact on this country, and I know that I'm completely hopeful that we'll be able to re-inspire Canadians again. It doesn't matter what your background is. We respect religious view, we respect religious freedoms, we respect all of these things. This is the Conservative Party of Canada, and I don't think that those views are the right to religious freedom and belief, the right to equality on this issue. I don't think that those are incompatible. I think that they are, and I think that we're the party that can speak with authenticity on this. And I'm having a hard time finding words. You can tell there's not a lot of talking points for this situation, but I'm very happy and I'm very proud.
Brad Trost, your two caucus colleagues, you're standing side by side, but you're so polarly opposed on this issue. I mean, would you encourage social conservatives to walk away from the party?
No, because I'm not walking away from the party. And people like me, next election, I will say homosexual marriage, gay marriage is wrong. I'll be public about it. I realize it's not going to be something we're likely to vote on in my political career again, but it's a principle I'll be public with. There'll be a lot of MPs. I suspect this will work its way into nomination races, the next leadership race, and so forth. For me, it's not just a matter of politics either. It's a fundamental principle. the language of equality and comparisons, to me that's socialist language, the way they do it. The same way they talk about equality of income, where they want to tax from the rich to bring them down to the level of the poor. So I completely reject the underlying philosophy behind this. This is something both policy-wise and politically dead set opposed to. But no, this is my party too. I'm not going to be shoved out. Look, this was about which side was better organized. My side probably took this a little bit too much for granted because we'd won so much. We'll see what happens if it makes it to plenary.
But going into the next election, your party, I mean, okay, first of all, this has got to go to the plenary tomorrow, but going to the next election, what does your party campaign on? What do you campaign on if this passes the plenary tomorrow?
Irrespective of what it is, I'm campaigning as a defender of traditional marriage, period. I suspect, knowing Saskatchewan MPs, that will be the overwhelming, if not unanimous, view of our candidates in the province of Saskatchewan. Other areas may do that. Look, when me, Stephen Harper, and all these other people who now were supposedly opposed to human rights back then voted one way, we respected 3 different MPs to vote the other way. If I remember correctly, it was Gord O'Connor, Sylvia Boucher, and I'm trying to remember the other one. We still worked with them, and we were still friends with them. We didn't run them out of the party. I suspect if this does go through all the way, the people who supported this are not going to try to kick me out of the party, with the exception of some activists.
The question is, can you comfortably inhabit a party that has no position on defending the right to life, that has no position on defending traditional marriage? Can you still be a conservative?
I do, and a lot of the conservative candidates do. And I don't doubt there'll be at least one, if not more, candidates who actually, in the leadership race, takes those positions.
But you're still comfortable being a conservative?
Look, of course, because I didn't change my positions. I'm not changing how I'm voting in the House of Commons on any of these issues. You could have flipped the question around to Gordon O'Connor or Sylvia years ago. Were they comfortable in a party where everyone but them and one other MP, I'm trying to remember who it was, voted differently? Look, I'm a big boy. I can handle this, as will most. Again, for veteran MPs, this is like, Michelle's a rookie. She doesn't quite understand what all went into this. Look, both on fundamental principle and politics, I think the activists who orchestrated this are wrong.
So is this going to be then a major issue in the leadership campaign?
I don't know. I kind of suspect it won't be a major issue as the top of a line, but it will impact people. Let's be pretty blunt. I did take check of who was going to be in the room. I really like Maxime Bernier, but after his position today, I will not be supporting him. There's no way I will support Kelly Leitch either today. I think those 2 lines have been underlined by what they did in this room today. I'm not the only MP who's going to feel that way. Look, I like Max, I like Kelly, but they were in there actively supporting this. I'm sorry, those 2 are off my list.
So who's the social conservative candidate of choice then in this leadership race?
We'll see. I know both Andrew Scheer and Jason Kenney are kicking it around. I know both of them have supported traditional marriage strongly in the past, so it's possible it may be. Now, I don't think that's going to be the only issue. If I remember correctly, Peter voted on both sides of this issue on the 2 times when it was in the House, so we'll see. But at this point, you know what? People like me do take note, and I think other people should take note too about who stands for your values in the party and who doesn't. I mean, it's not a threat. That's just an observation of people I will work with, but I disagree with on this.
Is this margin even big enough?
Okay, let's go.
All right, so that was Saskatchewan MP Brad Trost. You heard him finishing up that conversation with reporters just a few moments ago outside the convention hall, and he was joined for part of that conversation by Alberta MP Michelle Rempel. Both of them on opposite sides of the heated debate that took place in a workshop just outside the convention hall here a little earlier on the party's position on same-sex marriage and a resolution to strike from party policy the definition of marriage as being between one man and one woman has passed. That motion passed by a vote of 279 to 143, and at this moment, its chances are good that it would go from that workshop to a vote on the full convention floor tomorrow. Now, so clearly we've seen a split, and we've heard these 2 MPs talk clearly about the split that now exists between even elected members of Parliament about where they stand, and you heard Brad Trost say that if this is where the party's headed, it won't stop him from campaigning. If he's asked about it, I guess, that he supports marriage as between a man and a woman. So he's clearly not on side with the vote that's taken place today. And you heard him mention how he plans to deal with leadership candidates on this issue. Max Bernier, one of the declared candidates, expressed his support for this motion, as did another one of the declared candidates, Kelly Leitch. And Brad Trost says he certainly won't support either one of them.